Hey guys, my name is Josh with Groomer Society and I'm here for an unboxing video. Today we have a Wahl KM5 2-speed clipper. This clipper comes in a nice, beautifully packaged box. We're gonna take a look at the box here and see what we're looking at. The color we have is, I believe, I missed it. It was something blue. Was it gumball blue? Gumball blue. The color is gumball blue that we have here. And it is a new design to the Wahl extensive Wahl line of clippers. It is a 2-speed as we can see here, and it is a rotary motor. Up top we have that Made in Germany badge. We have constant speed control, automatically delivers more power and torque in tough areas. All right, that's good to know. So when we have knots or mats in areas that are a little bit more heavy duty, the clipper is gonna continue to give you the same performance as there were no mats or clippers. It's ergonomic and lightweight, so that's great. I can't wait to open up this box and see how ergonomic is. On the side of the box, we can see some lettering here with the beautiful logo stamped up top, Wahl Professional. And on the back of the box, we can see a little bit more in depth on what we have inside of the box before we get in the box. So up top, of course, we have an all new German engineer KM5 rotary motor clipper, which was designed with the professional in mind to deliver superior performance, increased power, torque, and extended durability with essential no maintenance. So we already know it's gonna be a low maintenance clipper. It's gonna be a great addition or upgrade into our arsenal of clippers. Of course, it states that it's ergonomic and lightweight. The efficiency of the consistent speed control, that's what I went over earlier, explaining a little bit about how that functions when you're clipping dogs. It comes with a high performance number 10 ultimate blade attached to the clipper inside. Rounded front housings for better hairflow, and I'll explain a little bit of that later. And of course it states our SPMs, excuse me, so that's strokes per minute. We have 3,000 and 3,500. Considering the fact that it is 2-speed, our first speed would be 3,000 and our second speed would be up to 3,500 strokes per minute. It's got a hanging loop for space saving, so if you like to hang your clippers on the side of your organizers or your tables, that's a good addition. And of course it says a 14-foot flexible cord, so this is a great addition. It doesn't matter where your table is placed. In the salon, you're able to comfortably groom the pet at hand with ease, and with a thin flexible cord, it does not kink up like known cords are made to do. And we have a nice big sign here that says extremely quiet, which is definitely a new thing when it comes to rotary motors. They tend to be a little bit louder. So Wahl was able to design a housing and a system that was more quiet and less vibration. On the side here, we can see what is inside of the box and what the box contains. And we can see, of course, the cord that it comes with a nice brick housing, the oil, the brush, and of course the clipper. So we're gonna take our knife and just go ahead and break the seal. I had the knife the wrong way. I'm gonna take this out of the way. We don't need that. So first things first, I'm gonna remove the clipper outside of the bag. This bag prevents the clipper housing from getting scratched up or dinged up during transportation. And the first thing I notice is a nice hefty piece of cardboard here on top, where I guess this is keeping the tongue here. This is the tongue to hold the blade in from closing during transportation. That's a good thing, because if you are a new person or a new customer and this is closed and you are the first time picking up a clipper, I think it's going to be extremely difficult to know what's wrong with the clipper and why the blade does not fit on there. So that's a good thing to point out. I'm going to take this little cardboard sleeve out, see what's under there. And as you can see here, we have an interesting drive setup. So this is a little bit more exposed than what you're traditionally used to seeing. There seems to be a new design into the Wahl family, and it's a slightly longer, more exposed tongue that drives back and forth, and that's actually what makes your cutting side of the blade move. So that's something to point out and see. It is a completely closed housing, so it's virtually indestructible as far as hair getting in there. So again, another thing to look at when you are a beginner or getting into grooming. It's very good, or longevity. It's a very good thing to see right there. A very completely closed housing, so minimal hair gets into the drive. We have a nice soft grip back end here, as you can see. Next thing, we can see the loop here. This is obviously for space saving. You can hang this inside of your shop table or dresser or whatever you use to hold your grooming equipment. Boom, as you can see here on the top side, we have that beautiful gumball blue, which is pretty on point to those gumballs that you see in the machine. That is almost exactly the same blue. I definitely think they hit the nail on the head with that one as far as color goes. So we have the 2-speed here. I'll go ahead and use that just for reference. Has a number 1 here, lets you know you're on your first speed, and then obviously all the way up to the top, and it lets you know again you're on your second speed. We have the infamous KM badge on the top with the number 5 to let you know it is the rotary motor. And of course, the lovely Wahl logo we love at the top with the round housing. Now what this means, I'll go ahead and put the blade on to show you what the round housing means. Put the blade on there. And what this means is you have a more exposed feed right here. So when you're cutting the hair, you're able to actually feed more hair through the clipper, where the clipper being all the way up to the top is kind of blocking a lot of the hair from feeding into the blade. So that's one thing to look at. And next thing, we're gonna go down to the cord. So first thing we're gonna look at, as I look at as a groomer, is the attachment of the cord to the body in case of the clipper. We do know we have some reinforced rubber sleeving here to ensure that the cord does not come loose, but we also don't have a big bulky stiff sleeve here that it doesn't allow for mobility. So this is also another good thing to look at. It is very flexible and flush to the case. So I already know with this cord that the attachment to the motor is actually inside the casing, which allows me to move this around and not worry about making it loose from the motor, which is a common problem in a lot of clippers. So that's one thing to look at as far as design. And we have our nice thin flexible cord that doesn't allow you to kink. So even though it does kind of take shape or form, it does not kink and stay in that position. So we have the clipper plugged it into a traditional outlet, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach the blade and see what it sounds like. So we're gonna place the blade on the tongue here, slide it, make sure it's all the way down at the bottom. If I put my finger on the top of the blade, the top of the blade, I'm gonna cut my finger when the clipper turns on. So it's always safer and a little bit more stable when you close it from the back end. So I'm gonna close it, make sure it's in, and then I'm gonna turn my clipper on with pressure to make sure it clips in correctly. And then we're gonna turn it on again to see what it sounds like. I'm gonna make sure I'm on number 1. That says number 1 here. And we can hear the sound. Put it close to the mic and a little bit further away. And you can see it's still pretty quiet. It's not much of a difference. Oh, it is a big difference. It's a big difference. All right, so heavy duty coat, double coated breeds, mats, grease, nasty. I'm gonna check to see for heat. So heat test, it's already starting to get warm. You're trying to figure out exactly how hard this motor is working and how many times that blade on the top is rubbing against steel on steel, creates friction. So obviously the more powerful the motor, the quicker the blade is gonna heat up. But the design, our ergonomics, is also very good. It's very easy to hold. Place in those positions you need to when you're clipping your pet. So we'll do another heat test. It's still warm, so we still don't have any heat on number 1 speed, and this is what you're gonna be using every day on most of your dogs that aren't nasty, matted, or double coated. So you're gonna wanna use your 2-speed. We'll turn on the 2-speed one more time. So I give this clipper a 4 out of 5 stars. Great clipper. I mean, even from beginners to even myself, I would use this clipper. The most experienced groomer down to the beginner groomer. But this little comfort grip back here seems to be a good asset to the actual grip and how you're holding the clipper. So thumbs up, Wahl. Great product, great packaging, and we look forward to doing more unboxing videos of your clippers and many more. Thank you for tuning in to Groomer Society's unboxing series.